learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a layer, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like it's a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it. Working.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming into September 23rd, 2020, and the stock market isn't getting stimulus. May sound a little bit weird, but we had Powell today. They talked about the CARES Act, even seeing how the market has been playing out these last few days. We have a few important things to talk about, even with the politics as well as overseas. So I'm going to go over that. We're going to have some plays for tomorrow. You got Nike after hours going absolutely insane. The options were crazy, but you also had Tesla, your beloved battery day. We did a crazy credit spread, so we'll go over that play as well too, but kind of have a new strategy coming into tomorrow, so we have a lot to cover. So let us not delay. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description, and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free 99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/thestockmarket. You can post the plays, see the plays, watch the watch list come to life, and yes, if you want to see a live educational lesson that could potentially cost over $500,000, but the real risk is about $5,000, maybe $3,500 if you actually watch the credit spread video, but are aware of all the risks when trading credit spreads, then you should come on stream. I'm sure you will enjoy it, and we'll go over that play again too. And the most important thing you need to do, post or watch this below. Let us know what you're looking at. Got any plays, comments, remixes, anything, post them below and source that info. Shout out to Chad, baby. So right off the bat, first thing is Powell didn't move the markets. We were waiting for Jerome Powell and Mnuchin. They were talking about stimulus, but it's a similar situation to yesterday. We started out a little bit gapped up. We hit below where we closed, but we still ended up actually pretty high. So again, you could kind of see where it's at, where we're still below where all of the carnage started at the beginning of this week, or at least where we closed Friday now. So we gapped up a little bit though, came to where we were closing. It was a little bit sticky of a situation, but then we had that kind of end of the day bullishness that we saw yesterday. But now I'm kind of tying this into everything and all the stuff we're seeing, but we're kind of in this range. You're seeing how the market is even reacting. Let me actually pull it back up on the daily. You could kind of see how the bounce is playing out, but this is going to be very important to the broader picture with what we're going to talk about. But what I'm kind of getting at here and how everything is moving, the market is starting to price in the election expectations, but also now the effects or the impacts of stimulus. So kind of with how the market's been moving lately, although we've been expecting stimulus, I think this RBG stuff, that's going to have an effect, and we still need to see all of that drama unfold. Again, we're getting little updates, but we want to see if that's going to impact some of the bigger stuff like stimulus or anything of that nature. However, with kind of how Powell's been talking and now the fact that we're kind of seeing a stalemate with moving things forward, the market is starting to get into this idea that, hey, maybe towards the end of the year, we might just have this final quarter. We'll see how these companies do, but we may not get what we are expecting. And we're even going to have Congress and the budget come around the corner here in October. So it's going to get very interesting or dramatic, more or less. Now, all of that will be important, but things are kind of moving a little slower. However, what I'm watching for now moving forward is any of these other developments with the politics, but now overseas. Watch the dollar. We talked about UUP again. Wait for the banks too at the end of the month. However, we brought this up a while ago, but the pound and the United Kingdom. But as far as the United Kingdom, watch if they go on a lockdown. But now as far as the pound, you guys remember this. This is the S&P overlaid with the pound. And we remember the last few days, we kind of saw it lead. So it's a little bit interesting here. I want to see how this is going to play out. But if anything develops negatively in Europe, we want to see how our markets will take that. Or at the very least, if that leads to any sort of divergence or anything of that nature. So watch that. Again, a lot of things are around the corner, like earnings, budget, and the politics. So we need to see how we come into the end of this week and really how we react in this sort of range we set into. And that's going to get into when we need to talk about the strategy. A lot of selling premium. But remember, we still have one more week of the cuckening, or at least that's what I'm expecting. But how we start off October will be very, very interesting. But that is pretty much it. So let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, we have a lot of crazy things to talk about. The first one being that Tesla credit spread. I made this again. Tesla's going down It did shoot up. We were losing, winning, but what we ended up doing, do not try this again in all black across the screen. You see it. None of this is a recommendation. We didn't even put this out on the stream alerts. I did this as an educational lesson. We had a dope 11 at 11. I wanted to explain credit spread, so I know what I'm doing with this, but it potentially has a large risk, especially trading on a brokerage like Robinhood, where there is some weird early assignments, and not just Robinhood, even Tesla itself. And I broke the cardinal rule and I sold more than one credit spread. So I shorted 50 of the Tesla 446 calls, and then I purchased 50 of the 447 calls. $1 difference between the strike prices, collected about 35 cents a contract, or 31. I thought I put in a higher amount, but pretty much it's about $70 max risk per contract that I could lose on 50 contracts. It's about $3,500 max risk. However, the idea of this play is that I shorted these contracts. I short the 446, buy the 447. We are hoping that the Tesla expires worthless. So back to the plays, I want to do a lot more credit spreads. We have a bunch of tutorials. If you guys even just look in the description on the stream, you even search the Trading Fraternity credit spreads, come on stream and ask. But again, they're in the description on the stream videos. But we are going to do this a lot more. It would have been a lot more beneficial early on. However, with some stocks like Tesla, where there's a lot of momentum hype, you can take advantage of it. But I'm going to start doing a lot of these. We'll see. But this was a risky one. However, it was a 70% probability, but again, I went above one contract. It is doing it on a stock like Tesla. You got to be careful, but we're going to look after these. However, this expires by the end of the week, so as long as Tesla does not close above 446, I will walk away with $1,500. So we will see what happens. Tesla is dropping after hours, so it looks like it might be decent, but we'll go from there. As far as the other plays, I didn't make any other plays. What I will be looking at tomorrow will be Nike continuation. Again, you just saw it there that they were going crazy after hours. I think about 16%. They were up a little bit more at one point, but the options went crazy. The real question is going to be what options will be available on the option chain. So these options were very, very cheap. This definitely beat expectations. They doubled EPS, even beat like 10, 15% on revenue. They're up like 86% over year. This was just a total blowout quarter for Nike. So you could even see on the weeklies, nobody was really expecting this. So the question is going to be what is available. But remember, our option tricks in the morning, this is going to be a good one. So I will be looking at it. It will depend on what happens, but I will definitely be watching them. And then finally, the last play that I'll be looking at, and I don't know, I'm getting kind of crazy ideas. I just saw the little update. It looks like they want to make a push at TikTok. Again, this is just purely my idea. This isn't any news. I just saw the update, but we have these Snapchat calls. They're doing good. I was thinking about selling premium on them, so I'm going to look at them tomorrow. Maybe even get more shares. We'll consider that, but we did pick up some not too long ago, but I like how Snapchat's looking. They have literally been an inverse to the market. So here's the daily. You could kind of see since when the volatility started, Snapchat has been a real winner. It's been pretty wild. So I like that. I kind of like just where they're holding up with everything, so we'll see how that plays out. But those are going to be the main plays for tomorrow. As far as everything else, I will watch Tesla again. It's going to move a lot despite the play. It looks like I'm going to be winning, but let's watch how this play develops. I might take profits early. We might have to roll over. We'll see what's going to happen. Watch Apple. They were very, very interesting. They actually lagged the NASDAQ and the S&P. So even though I was saying that this was going to be kind of like the VIX, Apple did a lot worse. So I think it was pretty interesting. We'll see how they play out. The premiums got crushed. So again, this might be one I might want to look to sell some premium on too. But watch them. Watch UAL and even hospitality stocks. A lot of different sets of news. But again, related to the stimulus, I think this could kind of tell us a picture. If you guys just remember, we were just talking about the bank stocks where they kind of have leveled out. It kind of looks the same with the airlines as well as travel. So keep that in mind and watch that. But watch them. Watch banks. They were all over the place. Even the Wells Fargo's. Remember, we picked those up yesterday. The Goldman Sachs went up, and those actually ticked up a little bit. But that situation is still developing. No real opportunity there with the premium just yet. Watch Nike, and then watch even Zoom. Again, think credit spreads, but also opportunities. When you see one earnings blowout, I wouldn't be surprised to see a few more, so keep that in mind. But watch them, watch Tesla, and finally, again, I'm going to beat this credit spread thing to death. Please remind me, don't let me back out of it. I have a strategy I want to explain. Really, I want to be able to take advantage of the premiums in whatever direction the market swings. So we kind of have an idea of the companies we like. That's why some of these companies keep coming up, like HD McDonald's. Watch them. Watch Abivai. Again, we have a long-term deposit right around the corner. So keep this in mind. You are also going to get X dividends on most of the major stocks that we hold, or some of even the bigger names in the next month or so, or even in the next like week to 3 weeks. So keep that in mind. But watch them. Watch the dollar. This has been key. It's finally breaking out. And again, watch that in relation to the pound, but also watch it with the market, because today you saw the market bounced up, but the dollar's going with it. So watch if everything kind of sells off. Again, SLV, GLD, they've been having their interesting liquidations, but keep that in mind for what that means for dollar strength. But moving forward, it looks like we are falling into a range. Again, the price or the velocity is important, but the price that we go to will kind of tell us what the market's pricing in and expecting. We have earnings that will guide us more, but it should still be a pretty exciting end to the week. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to take value in the little things. Focus on the little things. Every little thing leads to a big thing. You got to build up the little things with the big things. I love you. I love you. I will see you in the morning. Let's go.